Good morning and welcome to my channel. The holidays are... Yesterday I had some fun with my children making a gingerbread houses and ginger cookies, ginger man, ginger star, Christmas tree, all kinds of shapes. And I thought, why not show you how to make ginger cookies the Polish way, pierniczki. Pierniczki can be filled with either plum butter, strawberry butter, or really any flavor that you like. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, Pierniczki's day. Thank you for watching.
And for my pierniczki ginger cookies, I will need 2 cups of flour, 5 tablespoons of butter, about 1/3 of a cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, plum butter, and if you don't have plum butter, you can use any type of butter you have, and of course, ginger spice, ginger cookie spice. If you cannot find ginger cookie spice anywhere, you can make your own, and for that you would need 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ground allspice, half a teaspoon of ground cloves, and pinch of ground nutmeg. And I would also put about 1 tablespoon of molasses. I will start by putting all my dry ingredients together. So the flour, sugar, tablespoon of cocoa powder. Now I need 2 full teaspoons of my ginger spice, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and just mix it. Okay, now it's time for the wet ingredients and mixing it all together. Just 1 egg. I like to put coconut oil into my little cup here before I measure the honey, because as we know, honey can be very sticky and hard to get it out of the cup. So I need about 1/3 of a cup. Now we can actually put it all in. Okay, beautiful. And it's not sticking to that cup as much as it would if I did not put my coconut oil in. And soft butter. So my butter is softened. And now just mix it all together. If you start using your hands right away, because of the honey, your hands would be very sticky, very gooey. So I like to start with my spalta first, and once I get all the ingredients incorporated, I will finish it with my hands. And as you can see, all the ingredients are incorporated. The dough is coming together. And as you can see, it's very soft, but it doesn't stick to my board as much. Couple more minutes. I think it is smooth enough right now. So I will cover it with a foil and put it in the fridge for about an hour. When you have this dough, it's easier. Roll it out and then cut the pieces. When the dough is warm, it is gooey and sticky, so it's a little bit harder. The reason why this dough needs to be in the fridge for an hour, so it's easier for us to shape it and put it together. You caught me. And you ask, when I do so many sweets, how come I'm skinny? Well, my recipe? 2 very active children. From morning till night. Never stopping. There is one important step about making pierniczki. When you bake them, if you want them softer. If you overbake them, they will be hard as a rock. You can still eat them with some hot tea or cocoa, but just by itself, they will become pretty hard, just tough to eat. So the timing for baking is very important. And look who I found, my children's favorite, Mr. Elf. I think he wants some pierniczki too. Happy holidays! It's been 40 minutes and I divided it in half. I will keep the other one in my fridge and I will start shaping the other half. So my dough should be pretty thin since I will put two together. So once I cut my hearts, I'm going to put my fruit butter in the middle and cover it with another heart. So 2 hearts for 1 cookie. This is why I want my dough colder, so it's easier to work with it, so it doesn't stick. The difficult part here is not to put too much flour underneath because it will change the texture of the cookie. The cookie will not be as soft. And I have my plum butter goes in. And I have some melted butter in here so I can put it on the edges so it actually sticks together better for me. So my plum butter goes in the middle and I press gently. So one is ready and it goes onto my cookie sheet. And some butter on the edge here. Press it gently. And as you can see, it's pretty thin. And some butter around again. Grandma, if you were still here, I would love to bake with you. Thank you for teaching me how to cook. So from the half of the dough, I have 7 cookies. So time for another 7. And my children don't know I'm making that, so it will be a surprise. I have some leftover dough, but I won't use it because I have put some flour into it, so I don't want it to be tough, hard. I want them to be softer cookies. And I have about 17 pieces. 350 for about 12 minutes or so. And some of you are wondering what size of that shaper I use. And if I want to measure from top to bottom, it's about 3 inches, a little less than 3 inches. And this is a regular drinking glass, so it is about the size of the diameter here, how wide the glass is, a regular drinking glass. So you don't have to have a heart, you can use a round shaper, you can use a square shaper, I mean, use whatever you have in the house, have fun with it. And my cookies are ready. I will let them cool for a little bit and then we'll have to make melted chocolate that will go on top of them. The smell of that ginger spice all over the kitchen now. And now when it comes to melting chocolate that goes on top of my ginger cookies, I can either use dark chocolate with butter or dark chocolate with half and half. And there are options here because different people like different flavors. So if you would like to put some chopped crushed nuts into it, that's one option. If you would like to add some cinnamon, that's another option. Or if you want a different flavor of chocolate, you can also add either raspberry, orange, or even coconut chocolate. And if you don't want to make it yourself this way, you can also use the almond bark. You just melt it the way it is and then pour it over your cookies. So this is the easiest way to do it. But I will use half and half with my dark chocolate, and I will add the same amount of, I think, orange chocolate for that orange flavor. And this is what I'm gonna use today. I have a small pot and I will just crush my chocolate here, and I want to do it on low heat so it melts slowly, so there is no chunks, just nice and smooth. Since I don't use that much of the chocolate, 1 tablespoon of half is enough. And very slowly, while it's melting, I will be mixing it. So the texture of it is very, very smooth. If you like me and like the orange flavor in chocolate, you can also add some orange flavored sugar to it. If you love nuts, once this chocolate is really melted and you can see it very smooth, you could put those crushed nuts into it and then put it on your cookies. And you can see almost done, so it doesn't take that long, but it's important that you do mix it while on a heat. I'm not doing that much of chocolate, only for a few of those cookies, but if you are going to use that melted chocolate for all of your cookies, then you would use a whole big chocolate bar with 2 tablespoons of that whipping cream or 2 tablespoons of butter. And if you need to add cocoa powder to it, cinnamon to it, nuts to it, then, after it's melted, you add the extra additional ingredients, and no more on the heat. Just mix it all together and it will be ready for your cookies. I decided to put it in a sleeve. And then I'm gonna do another one, tiny one in the middle. Okay, just like that. The easiest way would be just to dip one side into that chocolate and be done. I like to surprise my children by doing something else, so when they come back and they see it, they're like, oh, so pretty. If I want to be really, really, let's say, almost perfect, I would have to have my head just straight on top of the cookies, and then the camera wouldn't show you. So I'm trying to stay far away so my head is not in a way, so you can actually see what I'm doing and not my head. I want to show you how to, so it's more important for me that you see it. And then stripes. Just use your imagination, play with it and have fun. For the rest of the cookies here, I will put some icing on top. I'm not an artist, so I just try my best. And for me, it's more about how the food tastes than, how artistic it looks like. So forgive me, I'm not an artist. And the same thing you can actually do with white chocolate. Just dip it one side and then you will have chocolate covered cookies. And if you are like me, not the best artist, there is one thing you can do to cover it, all the imperfections. Once you're done with the cookies, magic powder, and those cookies are going to look perfect. So powdered sugar is the trick. It's a magic powder. And now they're beautiful. So before I go, there's one more thing for storage. If you want those cookies to be on the softer side, then you could put those in a bag, but don't zip it and don't lock it tight so the bag is opened. If you leave it out like this, they will become harder. Storing, the best storage is, or you can just wrap it in that cookie sheet paper and even a store bag. Just don't close it, don't zip it. And they will last for quite a few days. Thank you again.